the culture of sports, what you get out of it. So don't you think that would be also a beautiful thing that, because what we see is most of the offices.
Fortunately, I had the opportunity to see both at the highest level. So in sports and the corporate sector. Now, in case a person is involved in sports and physical activities, I think it will directly affect the profitability of the company. Your output is more. I mean, a chess player. I'll give an example.
I would like you to repeat this very candidly, and because we have a lot of people sitting here, and they need to understand that a sportsman has a better focus, because you have a 2-inch ball and you have thousands of people sitting in the stadium. How do you concentrate on this? So this is something which I would like you to throw more light on it.
I won't say a sports person. A person who is physically fit will definitely have more output. I'll give an example connected to sports, definitely. Vishnath Anand, there's no reason for Vishnath Anand, who is a chess player, is to sit on the desk and play day in and day out, to run for 10 kilometers every morning. I mean, he has no reason to do that.
But he needs a straight back.
He needs not a straight back, he needs a straight mind. His mind just functions better because the blood gets replaced, the oxygen gets replaced, and you're faster, you can focus better. So anybody who thinks that if they are in a sedentary lifestyle and the output is better because I don't have time for devoting an hour to myself or 45 minutes to myself, I think that much time every individual has to spend on himself. I mean, that body is serving you for your entire life. Give 45 minutes of your time to your body, which is going to serve you in better. And it will help you in your jobs. It will directly affect your medical bills of the company, because the medical bills amounting is whatever in thousands of crores or hundreds of crores, whichever it comes to, that is going to get directly affected, because if you have a fitter organization, your output is better, you don't have to rush for your emergency in medicals and get into heart attack situations and putting stents at the age of 30, 34, 35. So these things are very, very, it's proved world over. I mean, there's nothing new which I'm saying. I'm just reminding you that, these things are there, which we tried in Tata Steel that every day in the morning, this was, I'm talking about 92, 93. Every day in the morning when the person used to come to office, there used to be 5 or 10 minute exercise session which used to be there. It was compulsory. You couldn't avoid it.
Fantastic, Brad. I'm bringing here, I've been associated, I've been heading a company where we do a lot of grassroots development. And there's a very serious question there. Our sports people, and you see especially, you said NBA, you adopted this. And I was as a guest lecturer at one of these online courses in US, in Chicago. And this gentleman comes and says, why don't you produce good basketball players? And I dumped the question and I went off. And he caught me after 1 hour. And I told him very straight that a basketball player in our country will only dunk once in his life. Because he has a cement court, if he falls, he's going to break all his bones. So I want to bring you here is that would you not incorporate your CSR fund to do world-class infrastructure, especially with schools and colleges? Because I personally feel that you make beautiful infrastructure to skating with only for elites. But how do you make an athlete an elite if he's not doing it in the schools? I mean, he doesn't have a taste of a wooden court on a basketball, doesn't have a synthetic tennis court, doesn't have a synthetic track to run around. He's running on a sand pit, and certainly he's been put into a synthetic track. How do you see these performances happening? Why not the CSR should focus that you should build in an infrastructure, especially at the grassroots level, at the school level, as part of the CSR?
To answer it very truthfully, I don't think I've seen it in the first year business case is there, but I have a solution already, because we are also the commercial partners to Basketball Federation of India, where 30% of our commercial rights money goes for a college and a school league. And Federation had this huge problem themselves of not having the court. So some of that money is being discussed with 5 cities where we are building up the courts. So maybe not in the NBA program, but through Basketball Federation we are.
I would
yeah.
request you to do as a Reliance CSR, not as an IMG, not as Basketball Federation. I would like a Reliance to do in CSR and get down to adopt any game, one game, and adopt 20 schools or 30 schools or 40 schools, maybe in village or in town, anywhere. And you see, because if the child does not, even forget about that, I'm sorry if I'm not taking it personal. One of the physical education colleges I visited there, and they were training teachers for physical education. And when I went around the college, the infrastructure which they had was so pathetic that I came back and told the vice chancellor of that particular college that these physical education teachers are going to get employed with the schools, and they're going to tell children about sports. But they themselves are not aware of anything called a synthetic track or a synthetic tennis court or a wooden basketball. So how would they do that? So I think very important is that corporates as a CSR of sports do a very important thing is to develop a world-class infrastructure. If you don't have an infrastructure, if the child doesn't taste at that level, I don't think we expect medals and good sports to come out of it.
Point taken. For the football tournament, we are actually doing that. We can't change, to give an example, Jawaharlal Nehru, but when we recorded, we found even the best stadium, which we call, had a pathetic pitch. So all the money which is going, we are doing it right from zero. So all
the more reason for you to start thinking towards that.
Yeah, so we are doing it football, and Reliance Foundation is open even for basketball. See, there was a controversy, we are doing it through federation, you're absolutely right, but we still went to MBA. So point taken, I think give us some time, it will happen.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's what I mean, it's better if you do it directly, because
okay.
the cost,
because we've already invested with the federation. No, for football we are doing ourselves. It's not part of the federation. Yeah, we're doing
you talked of malnutrition and stuff like this. Sports, unfortunately, in our country, I don't know if somebody from Sports Authority is sitting here. My wife is a dietitian, and her one colleague joined the Sports Authority, I don't know, a donkey years back, and whether it should exist or not, that the whole Sports Authority of India, the entire country, is one dietitian across the board. So the company which is into food, would you take up this and as a part of the CSR, if nothing, probably do a kind of campaign in designing and advising sports people, help them out in suggesting at least the diet plans? Because I personally feel that there are two very important components as an ex-sportsman. One is the diet and one is the recovery, that is physiotherapy. And we highly lack towards two of them, because the sports sciences, two things, what you eat, a sportsman. Because most of us sportsmen actually don't need, I see a lot of, I asked one question, because there's a player who suggested to eat bananas during the match, without knowing that the banana is not the right thing to eat during the match, because it gives you calories after 3 hours. So you're not supposed to eat it. But the dietitian is a dietitian, she's not a sports dietitian. So she said, eat bananas will give you energy when you're playing a match. So would you get into that, and if nothing else, do a campaign of education for sports people and help them out?
Certainly, Hemanshu. I think that's a very good point that you have raised, and I have to say that since we've been producing Gatorade, there's been a lot of very intense sports-related R&D work that has gone into the production of Gatorade and other products that we're making. Yes, those oatmeal bars, and we've got lots of other stuff also. So yes, we do have.
That's more of commercial use, saving product. I mean, I'm talking of doing some kind of.
Certainly. So the AFDB project, that we are collaborating with, that's a very holistic project. You can't bring a child onto the field, and it can't be just any field, and ask him to play on an empty stomach. So most of these people are coming from, slums, and they're coming from, the base of the pyramid. So you cannot ask a child, or the child will not be able to play. So obviously, we have incorporated these aspects into, it's not only nutrition, it's also education. It's also about discipline. And in fact, one of the coaches I was interacting with, he told me, we want our children to be there on the field by 4:30 a.m. and we wait till 4:33. After 4:33, you're out of the practice. No practice for you for that day. So that's the kind of discipline they are trying to instill. So it is a holistic program, and that's also